Have you ever looked at someone who was always at the top of their class, straight A's, perfect student, perfect scores, and wondered why they seem to struggle and feel stuck in life? Maybe that person is you. You followed all the rules. You worked really hard and you excelled in school, but now life feels like so overwhelming and so unpredictable and so uncertain, and you don't know how to navigate it. So, what happened? Why does success in school often does not translate to success in life? Let's dive into this topic today. Hi, I'm Vassia psychologist, burnout and perfectionism expert, and founder of Anti-Loneliness. And if you have ever felt trapped by your own perfectionism, exhausted by the endless pursuit of success, and terrified of making mistakes, you're not alone. Here we talk about real life struggles that many high achievers face and how, of course, to overcome them. And if that resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss any of my future videos on this topic. First, let's understand the actual problem. Why success in school doesn't translate in success in life, or success in school versus success in life. Let's start with a story. Imagine a child. Let's call him Alex. And Alex is an A student. He studies really hard and he memorizes all the answers. Remember those days? And never makes a mistake on his tests. And he's praised by his teachers and loved by his parents. His parents are really proud of him and admired by all his classmates. But there's a catch. Alex's success is built on knowing exactly what he needs to study, what is expected of him. He thrives when there's a syllabus, when there's a study guide, when there's instructions. Now, fast forward to adulthood. Alex is in a job interview, and suddenly there are no instructions. The interviewer throws him an unexpected question, and Alex freezes. Why? Because no one taught him how to handle uncertainty, how to get out of this bubble that not everything is predictable and fixed. No one prepared him actually to navigate real life without a guide. And now, why A students struggle in life? In school, as we said before, success is predictable. You know what's on the test, you study, you succeed. Very clear. But real life actually is messy, ambiguous, full of surprises. We can never predict life. We can never be certain about the future. There's no syllabus for navigating relationships, career changes, personal challenges. We don't know what to do with all these things. We just figure it out on the way. And here's a kicker: no one prepared us for failure. We were actually taught on this illusion that life is going to be successful. If you study or if you do your work, you're going to succeed. Why do we need to teach you anything about failure? It's in your control, which is a big illusion, a big lie. So no one prepared us actually for failure. And not only we don't know how to navigate failure, but also we hate it. We don't see how this can be useful. We cannot use failure. So parents and teachers, they praised us for getting things right. But what happens when things go wrong? When the job offer doesn't come, or when the relationship ends, or when life throws a curveball? A students are often perfectionists because they avoid the risks, because they avoid failure. They are afraid of failure. They're terrified of failure. And when you avoid failure, you also avoid growth. That's what we have talked about a million times. Perfectionist can grow, but a toxic perfectionist will actually sabotage their own growth because they will stay in their own bubble, because they will procrastinate. So you stay stuck in what you know when you are the unhealthy perfectionist instead of exploring what's possible. The emotional toll of all these illusion and bubble that we were brought up in is the lack of emotional regulation. We were protected from uncomfortable feelings. We were never taught how to regulate our emotions when things go wrong. And here is anger, and here is depression, and here is overwhelming anxiety. So when life doesn't follow our plan, we panic, we shut down, we blame ourselves, we lose control of our life. And think about it, actually. Did anyone ever teach you how to manage anxiety when you didn't know the answer? How to bounce back after a mistake? Probably not. So it's no wonder that many high achievers feel overwhelmed and stuck. So if that resonates with you, before we go to how to break free from the A student trap, if you feel like perfectionism is holding you back from living a fulfilling life, I invite you to check out my program, How to Stop Perfectionism and Start Living. It's designed to help you break free from the need to be perfect and embrace a life of progress and growth and joy. You will find the link in the description. But now, let's go to the last part of this video, how to break free from the A student trap. Practice gratitude for failure. What? What? Let me tell you a story. I once worked with a client who was paralyzed by the idea of failing. So, as I said before, we hate failure, right? We think it's the worst thing that can happen to us. So, he was really stuck in his career, terrified to take any risk. We started a practice of what I call failure gratitude. And it might seem like a paradox, but it's possible. So every time he made a mistake, he wrote down why he was grateful for this mistake, what he learned from this mistake. So slowly he started actually seeing failure not as the end of the world, but actually as the beginning of something even better, as a feedback, as a really good learning opportunity that he is thankful for. The second tip: build strong, adamant self worth. What happens with the A students that they didn't, they were praised for the scores that they got at school is that they defined their own identity with their performance. These two things, they became one. I deserve, I am worthy, I am good enough only because I perform well. So now we are actually separating these two and we create an adamant self worth that is not related or influenced by our performance. Instead of actually feeling that when we fail, we are unworthy, we are actually changing that. Self worth is not about what you achieve, it's about knowing that you are valuable regardless of your successes or failures. Regardless, even when you succeed, you're not a better person or a more worthy person than before the success. So, one way to practice this is by showing yourself the same compassion you would show to a friend when they would fail. And think about it, what would I say to somebody who's failing? I would hug them, I would say nice words, I would believe in them, I would say to them that, this is not the only thing that matters about your life. You are worthy either way, but also you have tried so far, so much, that one failure doesn't take everything away. Then the third tip and last tip is to embrace uncertainty. Ooh, that's a good one, eh? Life is unpredictable. It will always be. It's not only yours, everybody's life. That's okay. So instead of actually resisting uncertainty and believing that, if I make a plan and insisting on this plan, things will go according to plan, try to welcome change. Start small, saying yes to something that you have never tried before. Or when a plan changes, embrace it with acceptance, okay, and curiosity. Let's see where this takes us, even if it's scary. Yeah, the more you practice stepping into the unknown, of course, the more resilient you will become. All right, remember, life doesn't come with a syllabus, but that's the beauty of it. Our imagination is not very creative. Life is even more creative, and it can also bring not only negative but also positive surprises that we have never thought of. So it's full of also of possibilities. If you want to break free from perfectionism and start living a more authentic and joyful life, check out my program, How to Stop Perfectionism and Start Living. And you don't have to do it all alone. We're here to support you every step of the way. So thank you for joining me today. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your network, with other high achievers struggling out there. Subscribe, of course, to the channel. We are building a community of high achievers learning to let go of perfectionism and embrace a life of progress, not perfection. And remember, it's not about getting it right, but it's about learning and growing and showing up as your authentic self. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.